Amen. I now have the pleasure to introduce Nikolai. Last week, Nikolai volunteered as a counselor for his high school 6th grade camp. Here in his second speech, he will tell one of his most interesting anecdotes as a product of his adventure as a camp counselor. The title of his story is Ninja Masks.
Thank you, Vicki. So, if you didn't catch it earlier, this is 6th grade camp. And modern 6th graders, I don't know if you remember what you were like when you were in 6th grade, but from words I've seen written on bathroom stalls and whatnot, some 6th graders might be a little bit xenophobic. In my particular group of cabin, I had 5 individuals, well, 6 till one got sent home. It was a pretty interesting group, but I'm gonna focus, like, yes, they didn't give me like every single kid that had ADD and no co-counselor, but I'm not gonna dwell on that. The particular anecdote that I'm going to display in part features our Capture the Flag game. In fact, this particular game was 45% of the reason why I became a counselor in the first place, because it's so fun. And so in the game, there is 2 teams. There is a light colored team and a dark colored team. And I'm sure all of you know how to play Capture the Flag. The objective is simple: get the flag. But to explain that to a group of 60 or so rambunctious 6th graders, it requires a little bit different technique. So, before the game, I got my cabin together and I showed them a little thing so they could look cool in front of all their friends. I myself learned this at 6th grade camp when I was a 6th grader there. It is how to make a ninja mask out of a t-shirt. So, I get my cabin to walk up in pyramid form behind me, and then we walk up to the group of kids. They're running around. I'm just going to take this down. They're running around. They're playing with soccer balls. It's pretty crazy. There's a few other counselors that have really big cabins and are really popular with the kids. They're out together, so naturally I go find the nearest megaphone because my voice isn't nearly loud enough to compete with 65 6th graders. So then what I do is I actually stand on top of a picnic table and get like the 2 main other counselors that the kids really like and listen to accumulate quite the massive group around myself. And I'm just sitting there explaining the rules of the game. But this is where 6th grade rambunctiousness meets 6th grade xenophobia. That word fits in very good, because not too long after I finished talking, one of the kids was like, Allahu Akbar, which 6th graders love to scream for some reason. It's very offensive. But then my mind starts to click. I am dressed like this, standing in front of a table, in front of a ton of very immature 6th graders, and I'm thinking, like, this looks like something straight out of a history book, like rallying troops for something. And the particular thing these kids were rallying for, evidently, was not very good. Something that they then, I'm going to run off that because I don't want to get very political, but anyways, they said something they shouldn't have, and I was stuck up there like an idiot. But then we ended up having a game, but then the whole little immaturity of 6th graders and greed of the opposing team made for not the fairest of games. I ended up just ordering them to charge, because all my bucket list to scream charge through a bullhorn to a ton of kids. And since that story didn't last nearly as long as I had anticipated, I'm just going to cut to a second story really quick. It's a little bit shorter. It's about a personal blooper on the last day of camp. They have a thing called the giant swing. So what it is it's like about 100 feet up, there's this rope, and then it hangs down, you get on the ladder and you're on horse, you go all the way up, and it's pretty spooky at the top. And me trying to be a brave counselor, I just kind of showed up and was like, about almost all the kids had gone by. I just wanted to show that anyone can do it, because none of the other counselors at the site wanted to. So there's like one kid left, but they're getting into the harness, so the guy says, go on, go right ahead. And so I do. I get the harness on, and I go up, and I'm being winched up, and it's pretty scary. So what would you do in a scary situation? You'd sing Let It Go, because why not? So I'm just like singing that Frozen song from the soundtrack, holding on pretty tight, and it's just clicking up, clicking up. Meanwhile, there's all the kids pulling. It's like 3, 2, 1, pull, 3, 2, 1, pull on the rope that harnesses it up. And the thing preventing me from falling is this little rope right here that I'm holding on to. It goes to the ground. But the guy that's supposed to hold the rope went to go help the kids because there's like 5 kids and a lot of friction. So he's down there, and I had just gotten done singing Let It Go, and I'm at the top. And then, because I said go in my head about like 20 times, I hear 3, 2, 1, pull. I personally heard 3, 2, 1, go. So I just let go without a warning. I'm just zooming down. All of a sudden, I hear a massive crack and a super sharp pain in my right ankle. And I'm just like kind of dangling there. I'm like, okay, my ankle's broken and I have a lot of adrenaline. That's why it doesn't hurt. And then I see something that's a whole lot worse. My shoe is gone. And I look around, and then it comes to my senses. It had wrapped the cable that was supposed to be held but wasn't because I let go too early, had wrapped around my foot, creating a sonic boom at the tip like cracking a whip. Ripped off my shoe. Luckily I didn't really get much of a welt, but it kind of hurt pretty bad. Slammed my shoe down. Luckily no one got hurt. But then as I was lowered to the ground, I saw something that made me feel horrible. I saw the little kid waiting to go and a horrible look on their face as the control rope was tangled up in a tree. And the poor guy had to, for liability, I couldn't climb up there. He had to climb up and like shimmy across this really scary thing and go down and get it. But the cool thing is, there's a video of me doing that, and you can actually see it wrap around my foot and break the speed of sound. Yeah, creating the massive crack that everyone actually thought a bone had broken, including myself. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Thank you very much.